I think I need more games to snark at. Yeah, let's go thrifting. First up is a Goodwill made of bricks. Inside, I headed straight to the media section and found this Nickelodeon Team Rocket Rescue game for the PS1, though I already own it, so never mind. And over in the DVDs, I happened to find a copy of The Elder Scrolls Morrowind for the Xbox. One of my favorite RPGs ever, and I've never played this version. Not much in the LPs, just some fantastic hair. Checking out the board games, because I always do, and I found a game with quite an agenda behind it. Anti-Monopoly, the Bust the Trust game. Apparently it's a board game based around the idea of the Sherman antitrust law. Sounds exhilarating? Enough of that Goodwill, on to another place, the Rescue Mission Thrift Store. I don't go here very often, but today there was some interesting stuff lying around the electronics, like this keyboard here. This is a trackball keyboard. It's an AT and PS2 compatible keyboard for IBM compatible PCs, and it includes a built-in trackball. Very tempting, but for $10 I passed. Several amusing keyboards in here. Check out this thing. This is a flexible, full-sized keyboard. It appears to be made of silicone, or something rubbery and very, very flexible. A couple Walkman rip-offs here by Panasonic and some other company that I couldn't tell. And hey, another keyboard that caught my eye. It's small. I like keyboards without numpads. And then I remember that I like numpads, so never mind. And over in the toys, there was a little bit of childhood nostalgia once again. This is a Radio Shack Constellation Finder. Really captured my imagination as a young lad. It's just a little plastic thing with holes in it and a light in the middle, but it would project the constellations on your ceiling. I ran across this film canister looking thing, The Magical Mystery Trip. I need to go back and see if this thing is still there. I passed on it at the time because I didn't know what it was. It just had a cool package. Apparently it's something related to behind the scenes stuff of the Beatles, and maybe worth a little bit, and it's just cool anyway. There were also several Nat Geo magazines from the 60s to the 80s in here, including this iconic one with the girl with the crazy eyes. Not a collector of these, so I passed on them as well. And oh man, just sitting on the sidewalk, I found Earthbound! Ha 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 ha. It was actually a paper bag full of hangers. On to another Goodwill, and wow, before I got inside, I happened to notice that there was some kind of a fundraiser going on out front. Baked goods and cosmetics and flowers and stuff. I looked for any floppy disk arrangements and could not find any. Inside of the Goodwill, because that's where I was headed anyway. And hey, the Holy Bible, and holy crap, this thing is huge! Made of friggin' wood! It opens up, and apparently it's some kind of a thing to help you learn the books of the Bible, and well, put all of this back inside of there, dang it. Onto the back of the store, because that's where everything is now, apparently. Over in the electronics, there was a fine selection of nothing. And the media is now in this awkward, ugly bookcase thing. And yeah, I'm sure they just wanted to make use of this piece of furniture, but it makes picking through everything an absolute pain. You gotta stick your head up underneath there and flip all these things around just to see what's in there. It's just, But anyway, there's some cool stuff in here. A copy of Death Rally, which I already have. Really cool game, though. A copy of Normality, which I already have. Really weird game, though. A copy of Wheel of Fortune for the PS1. Sure, I'll get it. Mid-90s Vanna White. And a PC game, Pokemon Masters Arena. Never heard of this one. And figured, hey, why not grab it simply for the fact that I don't have it, and I've never heard of any Pokemon games on PC. In the wire containers full of secondhand soap and shampoo, I found this Star Trek solid brass pen with refillable black ink. Apparently it's got a lifetime warranty. And this statement on the back. You have acquired an exceptional creation, certain to become a valued collector's item. It says so right here. It's authentic, so I guess I have to believe them. On the way out, I happened to notice this over in the housewares. This is a cool little statue, but what happened to her arms? That's disturbing. There we go, that's much better. And since it was next door, I figured I would head inside of the Dollar General, since y'all seemed intrigued by my visiting Roses a couple episodes back. Now, as far as chain retail stores in this region go, from top to bottom, you've probably got Target, Walmart, Big Lots, Roses, then Dollar General, and below that you've got like Dollar Tree and random friggin' stores that don't even have a name and they're just stuck in a hole somewhere. So this is very similar to Roses, but it just doesn't have a big clothing or outdoor furniture section. You do find a lot of really cheap tat, and several toys and action figures to rival Roses Man's quality. Yes, the absolute finest in toys from China with possible lead paint included. Moving right along to my favorite Goodwill, and hey, it's time for the construction update. It looks like they're adding another parking lot, and thank goodness because parking here sucks right now. And there's a temporary walkway made out of wood, while they continue to dig up the surrounding area. Inside has changed around a little bit as well. The registers are over against the window over there now. Still this plastic wall covering up the construction over there. I can't wait to go and explore that part of the store whenever it's done. But yeah, over in the media, we got quite a few Wii games. Big Brain Academy Wii Degree, Monopoly Streets, as well as the My Sims collection, Speed Racer, the video game, and Michael Jackson, the experience. $3 each and complete, why not? Also came across The Godfather, the game for the PS2, as well as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic collection. It's got both games, complete, $3 for the PC, there's no way I'm passing this up. And a copy of Dynasty Warriors 4, cool to see, but I already have a copy. Heh, Ancient Aliens! Oh, you just gotta make the proper gesture whenever you come across a copy of this gem. Found a Halo Warthog Mega Bloks set for way too much frickin' money, at least from a Goodwill. Scrounging through the electronics, this really stuck out. I used to sell these when I worked at Target. This is one of those all-in-one record players. Even though I own other record players, I would like to have one of these but passed on it because for $25, I would rather have something with proper outputs on the back instead of just built-in speakers. Tiger Electronic Football! But it didn't have the battery thingy on the back, and I don't know if it works, and I'd rather have baseball or something. I don't know. I just passed on it, but I shouldn't have. Dang it. And just underneath that, an Xbox 360 console for $20. And being from this era of 360s, you never know if it's gonna work. But still, it's pretty crazy to already see 360s just tossed in here for that kind of price too. Checking out the board games because PC games, and hey, here's one right here. This is the Real Deal Mega Pack. It comes with 3 of the Real Deal games, including Nickels and More, one of my favorites. And yes, that means I have played quite a few of these. I wanted it, I got it, and I am going to play it. On to another store. This is the Salvation Army retail store once again. Right off the bat, I found a copy of Hitman Blood Money for the PC. Probably the best in the series if you ask me. Also several console games in the glass case. I ended up getting the PopCap Hits Volume 1, as well as Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, both for the PS2. And here's a shelf in the store that I don't recall being there, and I'm glad I saw it because holy crap. Friggin' Print Artist. This is the print program made by Maxis to compete with things like Printmaster and PrintShop. Yeah, who knew the publishers of SimCity and other things like that also had a print program back in the day? Well, I did, and I've been looking for a copy. Over in the electronics, I found something slightly interesting. This is a VCR with a top-loading cassette deck. And for extra nostalgia, it actually had a Blockbuster tape inside. These machines are notoriously unreliable, but I just like that mechanism anyway. Here's an interesting looking container. I wonder what's inside. Oh. Yeah, it appears to be used men's underwear. Just being in such close proximity to this, I feel dirty. It's time to get clean. Get everything clean. Get my car clean. Get my eyes clean. Clean! Next up is another Goodwill. It's getting stormy outside. There's a little teapot, some gnomes, and oh, what did they do to that cat? Poor thing. Oh, hey, I could use one of these. This is a little spinny CD tower thing. I was needing some more places to store my CDs, because I keep finding a bunch of PS1 games and I don't got anywhere to stick them. Glass case had some interesting stuff. Underneath this compound bow, there was a copy of Wolfenstein: The New Order for the PS3. I already have it on PC, but holy nuts, is that a good game. Checking out the puzzles and board games, and yes, more PC stuff. This is F-16 Multi-Role Fighter, a Novalogic flight sim thing. I'll take it. Also found a copy of Star Trek Deep Space Nine Harbinger. Totally would have gotten this. I've been wanting to play this game, but it does not come with the awesome box packaging plastic thing that looks like a giant Star Trek communicator. Seriously, look it up. I am not getting the game without that. Another thing that caught my eye, but is just something I didn't really have a need for, is this Davidson's Learning Center series, Math. This is actually when Davidson bought out and started reselling the Jumpstart games under a different name. Approximately 3 people are going to care about that, but that's alright. We'll see if anyone cares about this. Haha, Animaniacs Valentines, featuring Pinky and the Brain. This was tempting, but I got no Valentines to mail Valentines to. Sigh. Screw romance, I got electronics. Check this thing out. This is a Kodak Extralight 10 camera. This is a pretty neat little thing. I've always liked the designs of these. I've actually got an older one that is very similar, but I mean, just look at this little canister and all this stuff. This thing's just cool. And as I was about to leave the store, I happened across another Kodak camera. This is a disposable one. Normally I wouldn't care, but I noticed that there were only a few photos left on the roll of film. So I tested the thing out and took a random picture of junk on the shelf and got an idea what's on this frickin' camera. So I went to the nearest place that still develops film and got them all developed. Seriously, this turned out to be really interesting to me. It's like the life of a thrift store camera exposed. If you want to take a look at the digital versions of these pictures, take a look in the video description. There is a link to the gallery in there. And that is all for the haul of LGR Thrifts episode 11. Ended up with 15 games, 1 guaranteed future collectible Star Trek ink pen, 1 Maxis print program that nobody cares about but me, 1 plastic spinning CD tower, and 1 set of developed pictures from a random disposable camera at Goodwill. Came to a total of about $51, and yeah, this is a pretty fun little haul, I gotta say, especially for those pictures. If I ever run across another camera with a bunch of pictures already taken like that, I am so doing this again because that was just a lot of fun. Not only seeing what the pictures were on there, but also just trying to find somewhere that still developed film. The first place I went to, the lady literally laughed at me when I asked if I could get it developed there. And they had a sign that said they developed film, but she said apparently they haven't done it in years. But like I said, peruse those pictures down below in the video description at your leisure. And hey, why not enjoy some of these viewer finds as well? Y'all are still sending me lots and lots of pictures over Twitter and Facebook and Patreon and email and wherever else. All your thrift store finds are just as inspiring as the ones that I put out there. At least I think so, so keep sending them my way and I will keep posting them at the end of these videos and hopefully encourage a few of you to go out there and see what you can find. Because, you know, most of the time you'll find nothing. That's just a given, I think. Other times you'll find a whole bunch of awesome stuff. And maybe just things that are purely odd. Either way, for me, thrifting is more so about the journey and the memories associated with a lot of this stuff, as opposed to actually just acquiring things. Yes, finding new games that you've never played that you want to check out is awesome as well, but then when you find something obscure that only you care about, like a print program by Maxis or some sort of pictures that nobody's ever seen because they were just on a thrift store shelf in a camera that hadn't been developed, then is when you run across something special. And if you enjoyed this little foray into thrifting, why not check out some of my other videos? I have done quite a few more. And the next 2 episodes of Thrifts are already recorded and ready to be edited, so they're going to be coming in the next month or so. So why not subscribe if you like this or are interested in some of these games that you see me buying being covered in the future. I make more videos every week, so yeah, subscribing, that's a thing. You can also check me out and interact with me and other viewers on Twitter and Facebook, as well as support me on Patreon to get these episodes earlier than anyone else, and just support the continuation of LGR in general. And as always, thank you for watching.